So it's taken me 50 years to find the closest thing to the secret of life, if you ask me. And I'm going to share that with you and how I came to that conclusion, as well as a bit of a flashback as to what led partially to me coming to this conclusion anyway. So hopefully you bear with me, you'll hear a good tale and find out what the most important thing in life is to be aware of, at least. So the year is 1984, it would have been. No, 1986, I apologise, and I was 10. The day was much like today, absolutely beautiful, and actually it was the same time of year because I remember the mornings were freezing. And I was at primary school, and on this day there was to be an excursion, but it was an excursion unlike any other. So we weren't piling into a bus to go to the local rock pools or a farm or anything like that. This was unique in the fact that all children were asked if they could bring a push bike to school, and the excursion was going to take us around the local streets with teachers on their push bikes, basically as a form of live teaching lesson in regards to road safety, etc. So it's quite cool. The school was a hum of, chitter chatter. There was more lead up to us getting ready to go out for this excursion, so our lunch break was a lot longer, and the excitement and the humming and harring and chitter chatter amongst children was deafening. I remember that all too well. And I was really looking forward to this. Like, this day suited me to the T. I lived only 4 houses away from the primary school, my school, and I knew the area extremely well. And when it came to my push bike, bikes were my life. Raised fairly poor, and but I had been bought a brand new push bike. It was a silver Morrison BMX with blue trim. I was very proud of my bike, loved it, and I went everywhere on it. And anyway, and whilst kids had, far better bikes than me, and some maybe not as good as me, that wasn't what it was all about. It was just the adventure of us all getting together and going on a bike ride. And I got a chance to, I guess, be the kid that could say, hey, such and such lives there. This park's got an awesome slide there, because we went past all sorts of different little reserves and playgrounds and stuff. And, and so I became a bit of a news presenter whilst we were on this bike ride. But leading up to this bike ride, something not so nice would happen. Now, my bike's chain kept coming off. And it was, I didn't know the reason at the time, but it was because my back wheel had come a bit loose, and that tends to come in, which then means your chain regularly slips off. Now, that was going to be a problem. And on all days for this to occur, it happened on this day we needed to go on this excursion. And I'd only found out about it while we're getting all of our bikes and that ready. So I asked my teacher, Mr. Franklin, my all-time favourite teacher ever, if I could duck home to see if my granddad could quickly fix my bike. And he knew where I lived, top bloke, and he said, yeah, sure, no worries. We've got 25 minutes, so plenty of time. So I ran home with my bike, literally. I wasn't riding it because the chain was off, kept coming off. Got home, stood the stand up on my bike, sprinted indoors. Granddad. Oh, g'day, son. What are you doing home? Oh, this excursion we're going on this bike ride? Well, my bike chain keeps coming off, and my teacher, Mr. Franklin, let me come home to see if we can fix it before I go. Oh, right, how long we got? I said, maybe 20 minutes or so. Okay, no worries, let's get out to the shed, let's get fixed. So off we go. Keep in mind, my granddad's 70, I would have been 74 at this time. So, a bit slower, definitely frail, but a lovely guy. He was my dad, basically, even though he's my granddad, and he called me son. And anyway, so I'm all excited, but also starting to get a bit anxious, hoping that we can fix my bike so I can get on this excursion. Granddad comes out of the shed, puts my bike upside down, a couple of wrenches, one on each side, pulls the wheel out, tightens it up. He said, I think we got it. Give it a quick whirl around the backyard and see if she's all right. So thinking that I was on a winner here and well within time to get back to school, I start push biking around the yard and my chain comes off again. Now, this is where the not so nice thing happens. But this is kind of a kid thing and it can happen. I lost my shit. Threw my bike down, stomped my foot, clenched my fists, and said, because of you, I now won't be able to go on this excursion. Stomped off around the back of this big tree that was in our backyard, out of sight. I was fuming at first, also had a few tears running. You know, as a kid, some of these silly things that you think are so big deal, so important, at the time they are, and I got upset about it. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't have a bike that was working. Do I even go back to school? I was thinking, well, I kind of have to at least let my teacher know that I can't go, eh? And then suddenly I hear this calm, reassuring voice through the trees saying, son, come back. I think I've got it right this time. So with this spur of, you know, possibility coming back through me, thinking, yes, okay, let's give it another crack. I run back to Granddad, jump on my bike. Sure enough, it's good to go. So I said thank you, zoomed off out the backyard, down the hockey field, to school, and joined up with the gang and had a great afternoon on that excursion. Like I said, I was pretty loud as far as it goes for me. I was pretty loud that day, telling all the kids the do's and don'ts of the streets and where everything was, and thought I was king for a day. But I lost my granddad 2 years after that, when I was 12. And I don't think I ever said sorry. Not only for that day, but I don't know that I was the nicest of kids. My grandparents took me in. I had a hard time adjusting to a life that was so different than my friends. I had no mum and dad on the scene. And there's just no excuse for it. I've made peace with myself now, after having kids of my own, that have done the same thing to me. You come to realise that you just don't get it when you're young. Great man, miss him terribly. But I'm actually happy that I can share a story that's got him in it. I learned a lot from that man, including how to tighten chains, fix wheels, all of that sort of stuff. And ultimately, I could have done that myself, even at that age, but I wouldn't have been as quick as even my 74-year-old granddad was. Now, you're probably wondering, what's that tale? And even though it's heartfelt, it's true. What has that story got to do with what I've learned that's so important? Well, I'm about to share that with you. Now, the most important thing you need to realise, and you get an opportunity to realise, is something that no other species actually has the chance to acknowledge the way we can. Even though they share this planet with us, they don't comprehend and potentially don't even have a need to. But we can. Now, what I'm going to tell you, or refer to actually, is the most precious and most valuable currency known to man. And even though we know what it is, for the majority of us, we overlook it badly. So the most important, or the most valuable currency available to man and to any species isn't cash or pounds or euro. It's not Bitcoin. It's not precious metal or jewels. It's a thing known as time. Now, stay with me here, because there's more to it than just me saying that. Now, unlike other currencies, right, and other things that are precious like that, or like them, you can spend time. And we do that whether we choose to or not. But unlike other currencies, we can't hold on to it. We can't store it, save it, bank it. We can't do that. Time keeps going, and we keep spending it whether we want to or not. Now, the other important piece to understanding this time preciousness is the fact that you never know what your balance is. You can't get a bank balance for what time is left in your life. You don't know. You can't save time, gain interest on it to earn more time. And so, if I had the ability to control time, then I would go and apologize to my granddad. And plenty of other people along the way. Believe me, there's plenty I would change. But then again, would I? You don't necessarily learn from what you do right. You learn from what goes wrong. You learn from your mistakes. But time is so precious, and this has all come to a crunch for me as I create this channel predominantly for people over 40, like me, that run into surprise situations that derail your life. Sometimes you just feel lost in your life because things change. Once you reach this point where there are fewer years ahead than what you've already lived, I'm nearly 50. Then once you get to that point, you realize how precious things are. You know, I once was this huge fan of technology. I love the latest things coming out, the gadgets, the Walkmans, the Discmans, the VCRs, the video camcorders, digital cameras, video games. Now, this is what I understand as being the most important. Getting out amongst this beautiful world in which we inhabit. Because time's running out. And the only thing we have, all of us have some level of control over, is spending our time in nature, appreciating the simple things. You know, if I get an opportunity to record a video like this outside, I'd do it. I've found an amazing location that has me excited. when I get home, you know, I muck around with the kids, grandkids, foster kids, whoever we've got around at the time. My kids are grown now. I still enjoy hanging out with them too, but I don't obviously go around and build towers with blocks and stuff with them anymore. I miss those days. But I still have grandkids and foster kids to do that stuff with that are a positive distraction in my life. So time. It's the most important thing we've got. Now, if this is, and I hope it has, reminded you of the importance of time, go and hug someone that you know, ideally. And tell them how much you love them, you know, how apologetic you are. You know, you're still going to stuff up like me. You're still going to get upset about something that's dumb. And you're still going to maybe lose your cool here and there. But you'll lose it less. And you'll recover more quickly. Just by keeping in mind that we always have lived on borrowed time. But we understand that more clearly as we get older. So if that story's been something worthwhile to you, I hope it is. It's from the heart. I shared an important story that involves an important man in my life. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, let me know in the comments, you know, if you've had a similar childhood situation that you weren't too proud of, but, you know, we've got over, we've forgiven ourselves as adults. And yeah, share them in the comments. I'm keen to hear your stories. And until next time, look after yourself.